Hello guys, welcome to DDM. So like you guys requested, today's video is going to be all about this windshield installation. And before we get right into the installation, let me tell you some things that this windshield comes in 4 different color options as far I know. One is this black version which I have, and you also have a transparent version, and then you have a smoked version, and then you have an orange version. So you basically have 4 color options, and I have got this black. And though this is manufactured and distributed via Chinese dealers, I have got this from an Indian dealer based out of Kerala named Motoavenue. You can also get this in bandidos, but there is a problem with bandidos that they don't have a proper clamp. They have those locally manufactured clamps, and that is really not fitting well. I had to order from bandidos first and then return it and then come to this. So if you want this visor, for now just get it from Motoavenue, and if you really want to get it from bandidos, just check with them that whether they are locally manufacturing these clamps or they are getting all these imported from China. So how much did this visor cost for me? So this visor costed around 1500, and then you have around 250 rupees of shipping. So the overall cost is around 1750 something. You can also get this from China directly through AliExpress or some other Chinese websites, but I prefer to get it from a local dealer because then you can try to get this as fast as possible, and also if there is any problem with the shipment, you can instantly raise it back to the dealer. So I would recommend to go with the local dealers instead of getting it from the Chinese market. Now let's get right into the installation part of this. As this visor is designed for the international market Dukes, you might have to remove this number plate holder in order to fix this visor. But unlike international markets, as license plates are mandatory in the front in India, we have to go for this mudguard holder. I'll put a link to that installation video in the description below, so you can take a look and do the installation by yourself. In order to remove this, you will need to use an 4mm Allen key which came with your KTM toolkit. Unscrew the bolts below your display and you are done. Now keep that aside. Now before we get into clamp installation, let me tell you one thing, that your Duke 250's display is adjacent to your handlebar and your 390's display is placed slightly above it. And as these clamps are primarily designed for Duke 390 and not Duke 250, you will only need to screw one set of bolts to your 250's front forks and leave the top one empty. Now coming to the confusing part, the clamps. You just need to keep a couple of things in mind. One is the marking, the R and L mark. So during the installation, at this angle, your R clamp goes to the left side of the motorcycle and your L clamp goes to the right side of the motorcycle. Now you know which clamp goes to which side. You need to closely look at this design right here. If you are placing your clamps correctly, this is how your boomerang design should look like. Now take a 6mm Allen key and start unscrewing those bolts in the front forks. And once you are done with that, take the spacers which came with the visor kit and place it in the area where you just remove the bolts from. Now take the L clamp and place it in the right side of the motorcycle by keeping the boomerang placement in mind. Tighten the clamps using the screws provided with the kit and not the stock one. And also repeat the same for the R clamp as well. And if you are unable to fix it, do check if the clamps go behind the indicators and the boomerang is positioned as shown in this video. And once you are done with that, take the washers and the smallest screws which came with the kit and put it together, and these screws will be used to mount your visor to these clamps. You need to put those rubber bushers in the clamps and use these screws to mount your visor to these clamps. Now it's time to keep the visor in place and make sure that all holes are in line with it. And once you are done checking that, fix it with these screws in a crisscross pattern to hold it in position. Then take a 3mm Allen key and tighten these screws firmly enough to make sure that it's fixed to those clamps. Don't tighten it too much, else you will break the plastic washers. Now it's time to tighten the bolts which we fixed in the front forks to finish this installation. That's it guys, you're done. Okay, so now coming to the pros of this visor, the first thing I would like to comment is the design of this particular visor. You see, this windshield is specially designed for Dukes because the angle in which this visor is set is parallel to the rake angle of my front forks. So the angle logic of fixing a custom visor to any motorcycle is satisfied at this point. And this is the only Windvisor which is available in the online market which fits your Duke perfectly. I know I just talked about the rake angle, but just look at it. It really fits your Duke. I mean, like, I've seen a lot of people, buying those Yamaha phaser visors and fixing it in their Dukes, but in my eyes those don't really look natural as this one. So this one really gels well with the design of Dukes. So you see a curve here, there is an additional extension over here which fits well with this headlight design. You also have a carving over here to make sure that it doesn't interfere with the indicators. So basically this looks like a natural fit for Dukes rather than other visors which are available in the market. That's one of the reasons why I had to actually go for this visor instead of retrofitting something else. And then coming to the cons, guys, this windshield is actually not that useful for tall people. You see, if you are above 5'10", then this windshield comes very close to your chest region and it doesn't go up to your nose level. See, generally windshields work at their best when it is covering up till your nose area. So if it is not coming up to your nose area, your windshield is not going to work at its best. So keeping that design logic in mind, so this is not really useful for me below 90 kilometers speed. So if I am going above 90 kilometers speed, then I can easily tuck in behind this visor like this, and then I can happily ride. So that's one issue with this visor, that in the performance wise it's not really useful for the people who are tall or more than 6 feet. And one other issue with this visor is the width of it. So you see, this width is not really that much, so it's covering only up till here, and then you have a lot of empty space over here, and then it doesn't cover this portion at all. So because of this, what happens is when you are taking sharp corners above 100 or something, if there are strong crosswinds, then it's going to interfere with the handling of your motorcycle. And this thing I have never faced without the visor, because Duke is basically very aerodynamic. It has all these designs over here, not just for looks, and it actually performs. So being a really aerodynamic bike, after placing this visor, I wasn't really confident with the corners above 100 km speed. So that's something you have to keep in mind before installing this visor. And apart from that, there is a bit of quality issues as well. You see, just look at these screws over here and these bushes over here. So this is good for a one-time installation only. Like suppose if you are removing this like me and then installing it once again, then you will lose these bushes, and also you will start losing these washers. Let me show the washers. Yeah, just look at the condition of these washers. All these washers are actually broken. Yeah, so if you try to take this out and install it again, then you will lose these washers, and also you will lose these bushes as well. So once you install it, don't try to take it out and install it again. So if you install it, just keep it permanent, nothing will happen to it. And also, if there is any dirt accumulated in this visor after touring for long hours and all that, so you cannot do that with the proper cleaning tools. You need to properly polish it to remove that, because this visor doesn't seem to work well with other cleaning products, and those dirts or marks, whatever you have in here, it doesn't seem to go that easily. So cleaning this visor might be a bit of a problem, so you might have to keep that in mind before buying this visor as well. It's starting to rain. Let me slowly head back to home. So with all of these issues, would I really recommend this to anyone? Yes, if honestly, like I explained before, this is the only visor which will look good in your motorcycle. The other ones are not really made for Dukes, and it's not going to really gel well with the design of Dukes. So if you are worried about the looks of your motorcycle, don't look elsewhere. This is the only visor which will gel well with the design of your motorcycle. So go ahead and get this. And also, if you are not a tall person and if you are a short person, you can definitely get this visor, because that wouldn't be a problem for you. And also one other tip, like if you are a tall guy and you still need this visor, I would say go for it, because this visor helps you up till your chest region, right? So if you want to extend this, you can get the clip-on visors. So clip-on visors will have like 2 clips or 1 clip. There are different versions. It comes with 1 clip, some comes with 2 clips. So what happens is it clips on to your existing visor, and then it has an extension over here. And if you have the extension here, then you can try to avoid the wind buffeting in a better way. So this sets a platform for the clip-on wind visors, and that's really good to have if you are a tall person. So if you really need a visor for your motorcycle, then I would say just go ahead and buy this. Just make sure that if you're a tall person, you might have to buy the clip-on windshield. Else, if you're just a short to medium person, then you don't need to worry about that. You can just ride with this default setup. But is this the ultimate solution for a windshield in your Duke motorcycle? I would say no, because it does require a bit of modification for different types of people. So it's not really the ultimate solution, but this is the best solution available currently in our markets. So that's it for this video, guys. See you guys in another video next week. So till then, stay safe and ride safe. Bye bye.